Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to use Kabbalistic tarot cards to read to you the monthly tarot reading for February 2017 for you coming from Scorpio. So let me shuffle these cards, and the first card that I'm going to pull will have to do with your romance, family, and marriage areas. So let me pull this card, and it's facing you, which is always a good sign, showing that you are in control of the situation. It's not going to leave you totally in bad shape. Now let's talk of your romance, and I'm dividing the card into two. So the first 15 days you do very well. It says you have many romantic possibilities, and if you're already having a romance, then it shows that everything is balancing itself very well. So you're moving along in a very happy state for the first 15 days of February, you coming from Scorpio. The last 15 days turn viciously against you. And here we see the sign of Sagittarius, which is not the best for you. And it shows that now whatever you attempt to do in a romance, you just cannot get ahead. So finding a romance suddenly becomes a state of disappointment. The interest shown in you in the first half of the month now totally vanishes. And also in the second half of the month of February regarding romance, there is even a danger of a breakup. So you cannot treat this romance, if you want it, you cannot treat it too unkindly. Otherwise it will tend to break up in the last 15 days of February. So first 15 days dramatically happy, second 15 days dramatically unhappy. You can control the situation in the second half of the month by not showing your temper, or by not showing rebelliousness, by showing kindness, and you must do that if you value the romance. Regarding your marriage situation, the first 15 days I see a lot of harmony, new beginnings, new advice, new conditions, all which are very good for you, and good news as well. So you're doing very well in the first 15 days in your marriage area, but the second half of the month can produce severe difficulties. Firstly, be careful that what's happened in the past can be repeated, or news of what happened in the past can now be revealed. So it can be in a form of a secret being exposed, and therefore unhappiness of the marriage state begins in the second half of February. Also, my next worry would be that financial situations are not very secure, and therefore rather than arguing about it, speak to your marriage partner and try to bring things down to a state where tightening of the belt is needed in the second half of the month. So it's a gloomy period, your second half of the month for you in Scorpio, which also produces mental unhappiness. So you can be in a state of mentally being pretty unhappy as well. It's a card where the second half of the month shows frustration, and it also shows that if you're not careful, the marriage can drift into an area in 15 days, that is the last 15 days of the month, into a very bad situation. So if you value your marriage, tell yourself that the last 15 days you have to take the back seat. You cannot control anybody else's horoscope, only your own. So you have to manage yourself in a very humble way, supportive way, and an agreeable way. Otherwise, there's bad news waiting for you in the second half of February for you coming from Scorpio regarding your marriage. General family areas, the first half of the month, everything goes very well. Second half, everything falls apart. And when I talk about family, it is also to do with your extended family, like your siblings or your parents or the other parties' parents and siblings. So try not to allow complications from siblings or parents to interfere with the state of your marriage in the last 15 days. Otherwise, complications are really going to be seen and things only get worse. The next card that I'm going to pull will have to do with your career, business, or financial areas. And this card is facing me, which shows you do not have much control over career, business, or financial areas in the month of February. Now, firstly, let's talk of your career. In the first half of the month, you're going to attract a lot of support, and you're going to find that the area of career is doing very well, and progress is seen, and plenty of support also seen, and the possibility of getting a raise also seen. So first 15 days you are doing something very right that produces plenty of support for you in your career areas. But in the last 15 days there's a turnaround, and the turnaround has got to do with being played out or let down, so promises are not going to be kept in areas of career, or your colleagues are telling on you or playing you out or not supporting you, and therefore even superiors turn against you. So watch out that the last 15 days become pretty bad for you, and your career is not all that safe as well. And this means that your job is not very secure in the last 15 days, and you'll have to work very hard. Okay? Regarding business areas, the first 15 days work very well for you. Nothing to worry about, no rocking of the boat. You're sailing very nicely. Good news, long term, short term are all very steady. But I want you to start looking into affairs of your business because during the first 15 days, because the last 15 days can turn viciously against you in business, where you lose contracts, or where even having trouble with contracts would be bad enough, and also being let down very badly in business areas, and therefore producing losses of some kind or another. So the first half of the month extremely stable in business areas. The second half of the month both is rocking left, right and center, and instability is seen to the point where financial losses are also becoming already worrisome in the last 15 days. General financial areas will be like this. First 15 days, plenty to go around, whether in career or whether in business. Then last 15 days, suddenly money panic and not enough to go around. So do not overspend in the first 15 days, because the warning is already here that the last 15 days you may need the money. So hold on to it. The next card which I'm going to pull for you has got to do with your health areas. And it's facing you, so that's a good sign. So you are in charge. Health is not going to break down. But let's divide it into two, the first 15 days. The first 15 days, although you have plenty to do, you are fully in command. The only negative thing I can really see is a little bit of stomach problems. Even that it's nothing to be too alarmed about. But the last 15 days, the bottom of the card, this is the sign of Venus here. And this shows that your glands may be inflamed. Could be the thyroid, the prostate, or the pancreas. So look into these areas. Number two, it shows now that your stomach is really hurting, and it's an inflammation, so it could be gastric problems. Okay, so these are the two outstanding things which I worry about for you coming from Scorpio for the month of February, especially the last 15 days. So it's going to be overall a good 15 days to start with and a very bad 15 days to end with in all areas of your life. So you'll have the first 15 days now that I've already warned you to start to plan settling issues for the last 15 days. Start doing that in the first 15 days. And that way when you get into the second 15 days, much will be under control. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.